Hello folks, Junkie Rock 13 here, bringing you another review and another contest on the AGA Rebuildable Genesis Style Atomizer. I'm going to try to work on this quick because I know there's a lot to cover with this and I want to talk about the contest. So let's get into it and see what I think about it. Okay folks, the AGA close-up, fully disassembled. Now it's not going to come this way. It is going to be fully assembled when you get it. This is a brand new unit. This is exactly how it comes. It did not come with a drip tip. It looked just like this. Put that off to the side. I'll discuss that in a few minutes. We're going to start off with the tank tube. Okay, now it looks to me, it acts to me as it is stainless steel. It says it's stainless steel, and this actually looks like stainless steel, feels like stainless steel, weighs like stainless steel, so I'm pretty confident it is. Alright, it is nice and threaded in there. Now the threading on this is very nice, no burrs in it. I have had no problems with the cross threading or anything. You might see some paper towel residue. I just rinsed it out and wiped it down. But here is the tank tube. Set that off to the side. Start off with the bottom piece next. Now there is a O-ring right there, and then you can see right down the center and the 510 connection on the bottom. Okay, it's a cross thread knurled for your gripping when you go to turn it. Very nice piece. Now there's a nice weight to it. Set that off to this. And we're going to go to the top piece of the section. Now this is very interesting. The center post is going to be, the center hole is for the positive post. And there's a screw here. And there also is another screw. Let me just take this one apart. It'll come with two screws. Okay, now I wanted to show you this because I use my devices, my Genesis devices, with a wick in one hole, and I leave the fill hole without the screw in it. Now for me it seems like it wicks 10 times better with that screw missing out of there, so it allows air to come in and wick the juice up into the wick. That's why the screw is missing there. Here is the negative screw that I am using. You can set this up a few different ways. And then there's a little post here that you can use as the negative also. Now I'm assuming that you can set it up dual wicks right here. Or you can actually use a silica wick, one end going down there, in a U shape over there going down into this end, and having using this as a negative or this as a negative. But it gives you a little options. I have not used this negative post, so I really can't comment on the setup for that. Alright, so we're gonna talk about the top cap right here. This is a nice top cap, but let me bring back over the other top cap. Now I want to get this in the picture good. Okay, do you see that air hole? That air hole is so tiny. Okay, when I put it on there, the air that was coming in was it was such a tight draw. I actually took a 1/16 inch drill bit and drilled out that air hole. And also, like my did clone, it was not lining up correctly with the wick hole right here. So when I was putting it on and tightening it all the way down, the air hole was not lined up with that hole that I just showed you in there. So what I needed to do, and I'm going to show people how this is done, is just take a simple piece of sandpaper. Well, this is just a piece of fine sandpaper. I just wanted to show you how it's done. Take the top cap, and to get it lined up with that hole, you're going to have to sand down this top cap section right here. Okay, now I had to sand this down, and if you notice in there, there's no yellow inside there, so it's not a plated brass or copper. But what I had to do was I took the sandpaper and I just sanded it down until when I tightened it on there, the air hole lined up correctly with the wick. Now you can sand it like this, you can spin it like this. The only thing you do not want to do is sand it like this with the end lifted up. Okay, you want to hold it flat on the sandpaper, or use a belt sander or a regular little palm sander, and make sure you hold it flat. Okay, that will allow you to get a nice even top cap, so it'll screw on even. There'll be no leaking when juice builds up in there, and it'll work perfect. Okay, now here is your positive center post, and there is a little piece of silica, a little silica post pole washer thingy stopper that goes on the bottom here, and I believe this is all stainless steel too. I did not test the metal or anything, but that's what I believe that it is. Okay, and then we have two little knurled nuts, a little nut, the center post that will go inside the tank with two little O-rings on it. Come on, focus. Okay, now there is no threading on this piece. And then we have two little silica pieces, similar or exactly the same, the ones on the positive connector post. And then we have one a little bit different, and they are all silica. Okay, so now what I am going to do is show you how to put this one little piece of silica in. Okay, now you notice one piece is a little bit bigger, one piece is a little bit, or one side is a little bit bigger. Let me grab this dental tool. This side is a little thicker than this side, so that side is the side that's going to be going in, is the smaller side. And the top piece, we're just going to place it directly in that center hole right there. Okay, so it looks like that. Okay, now the other two pieces of silica are going to go on the end of the center post. So one will go there, and the other one will go there. Okay, now what I need to do is put this center post into the top piece. Now don't screw in, it just sets in there. Alright, or actually we can hold this out for a second while I put this on. Put the tank on there, the tank tube, and tighten it all the way down. Then we will take the positive center post cover and set it right into that groove in the center there. Then when we take our bottom piece and put it on there and tighten it right down. And I want you to tighten it down all the way till it stops. Okay? Then what we do, we'll take the center post with the little rubber grommet on the end there and push it right through the 510 connection and come right out the top. Okay? Now to hold that center post down, we will be using the little hex nut Okay. Whoop. And what I like to do is just take a pair of needle nose pliers, or you could take a little open end wrench and just tighten it down. You don't want to tighten it down too much, but you don't want it to move around. Okay? Then we will take the little knurled nuts and put one on, and then we'll take the other one and put the other on. So then with the top cap on, it is a fully assembled AGA tape. But I'm going to show you how to wrap the wick. Let me just make sure a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen up the negative screw. I'm going to take a piece of 32 gauge Canthal. Now this wire is about 5 or 6 inches, and just for the video I don't have it on the spool, but I usually leave it on the spool and limit the waste. And I'm just going to put a little bend in it with a nice little inch left over. Then I'm going to take and put it on the inside closest to the center post side. And I am going to have the wire that I'm going to be wrapping with come right across the center of the wick hole. Now that's just the way I set it up. You can watch other videos and set it up that way, but this way just seems to work for me. Okay? Then we're just going to tighten this down, and we're going to make sure that these are nice and close together when we tighten these, the two ends right there. And we're going to tighten that down really good. Okay? I'm going to straighten out the piece really nice with my fingernail. Then I'm going to take this end and just give it a few turns, and it'll break off nice and flush. Okay. Now, I'm not going to show you how to oxidize a wick. I've already done that video. I will leave a link to that video or post it onto the side. And you can check out how to oxidize and roll and make a stainless steel mesh wick. But now I'm going to put this, I'm going to push this off to the side over here. And I'm going to put the wick in. Now this wick, the size of this wick is about 30 millimeters in height, excuse me, and I always use around 35 millimeter width. Okay, so now once I have this in there, I'm going to take the wire, the Canthal, and on the outer side, okay, now you notice that it's not totally tight in there, the wick. I usually leave it nice and have a little play in there. I'm going to take the Canthal, and not wrapping the Canthal around it, what I am going to actually do is spin the device. Okay, and once I get to the point where I have to lift it up and around the wick, I'm going to hold it with my finger down there and then come back around and spin it. Okay, now what you want to remember when you're starting off doing this, it could be a little difficult. What you want to remember is keep the wick up off the bottom of the tank, okay, because that can cause some shorts and you don't need any issues like that. So I'm going to keep on spinning the device and wrapping the Canthal around. Now determining how many wraps you make it around the wick will determine the ohms of your addy. I am going to do about a 4 wrap coil, and I'm going to bring that knurled nut pretty much up to the top of the center post there and leave a little tiny section in there to wrap my wire. Okay, so I'm going to keep it nice and snug, not really tight, and I'm going to go back around and then work its way back. Okay, I hope you've seen how I did that. And then when I tighten it up, I'm going to make sure that the wick is not touching the knurled nuts there. And I'm going to hold a little tension on it and just tighten down the top nut there. Okay, once I got some tension on it, I'm going to hold the bottom one and just give it a nice little tight turn. Now that I have it pretty much wrapped, I'm going to take just a toothpick or a plastic pen top and just space out these little wraps. Now again, you do not want the wick to be touching the knurled nuts here. Okay, and we're going to make sure these are spaced pretty evenly. Okay, now you may have to adjust them once you attach to a device, but what I'm going to do is hook it to a device and fire it. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to fire this and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm getting a little hot in the center, so I'm going to take my toothpick and just move the wires around a bit. Okay. Alright, I got a little too hot on this one. Move that one down just a hair. Still. Alright, I'm going to take my little dental tool. Now be careful if you are using metal to move around the coils, because you can scratch the stainless steel and take off the oxidation, which will cause a short, which will cause it to short out. Okay, it looks like it's glowing pretty evenly. Okay, I'm going to actually turn off the camera for a second and turn off the light on the camera so you can see it glowing correctly, but with the light from the camera you cannot see it. Okay, so the lighting is off now, and we'll see if you can see that a little bit better, but it's not going to focus as good, I don't think. Okay, the wrap right here still looks a little hot. Now, let me just put a little juice in the tank. It holds around 3 mils. I just have some Mandy's Melons 50-50 blend. I'm just going to fill it up with a syringe. And there we go. Okay, I'll just wipe off this little excess right there. Okay, folks, so let me see how it wicks. Actually, I can cut off this excess now, so just give it some turns. Oops, I actually loosened up the nuts a little bit by doing that. Okay. Okay, now that broke off nice. Alright, just make sure these are nice and tight again. Okay. Let it wick up. Put a drop of juice on there. Actually, it's wicking nice. And then, let's see what it fires like. Okay, I'm not seeing no hot spots. Very nice. Alright, so with the wick right there, show you how the air hole lines up with it. Okay, there we go. Put the drip tip in. Oops. Oh, this drip tip is kind of okay, now there we go. Alright, there we go. Let's see how it vapes and see what I think about it. Okay, folks, so there you have it. The setup and the fill of the AGA Atomizer. Rebuildable Genesis Style Atomizer. Now, I know that this is going to be named something else. The vendors will call it something. It probably won't go by the AGA, but out of China, it's being known as the AGA. From what I can tell, what I've had it of 3-4 days now, I've been liking this atomizer. For the stainless steel quality, it's been very nice. Now the silicone pieces in it, I believe they could have did something a little bit better with that, because those will end up having to be replaced. But other than that, this seems like a nice quality device so far. Let me show you how it vapes real quick, and then get into that contest. Okay, you can see clouds of vapor. Throat hit is great. Flavor is phenomenal with all Genesis style atomizers. I've been having a great time with these. This device, for the price that I paid through the co-op, has been spectacular. Okay, the setup is pretty easy. The quality is nice. I can't say much more about it. Now, they do have a few that just came out. Now, the did clone. I just did a video on it, and I'm actually doing a contest on that too. I'm not knocking the did clone, but in my video, I did talk about how it is not stainless steel. It's more like a chrome or stainless plated, stainless looking device. It's not stainless steel because the metal underneath is yellow. Whether it be brass, copper, bronze, I'm not sure of the metal. But this, I did sand it, and I did bore out the air hole, and it is all silver all the way through it, and the weight feels like a stainless steel device. So this is a very nice quality device. It is very similar to the size. Excuse me for 1 second. Let me grab the did so I can show you what that looks like. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I could have swore I had it next to me. Here is the real did in the standard size with a clear tank next to the AGA. So the did is a hair bit taller. The tank looks a little bit taller, but it is pretty much around the same size. Okay, let me just set that right there. And this is on the GGTB, and it looks nice. The finish on it is more like a satin. It's not a polished finish. I like the finish. I like the knurled the knurled grip on here, on the top cap, or the top piece and the bottom piece here. It seems like a quality Genesis device. China, I think, has done a good job with this one. Now, time is yet to tell on how good it is. The few things that came straight out of the box, the air hole being too small. So I couldn't imagine vaping on this with the air hole that came with it. And as far as the air hole lining up with the wick. I showed you how to do that quick fix with the sandpaper. Very easy to do. So the AGA is a win in my book. Let me show you a couple more vapes, and then we'll talk about the contest, and then we'll talk about VaporCon. Very nice. Now, the ohms that my wrap came out to be is 1.5, and I have it on a standard 3.7 device. So the battery is a fully charged 4.1, 4.2. So it is pushing out nice vapor, nice flavor, nice throat hit. That is the AGA. Alrighty, folks. The AGA, obviously, we're talking about another contest. So I have an AGA sitting right here for a lucky vapor that will enter this giveaway. Like all my other giveaways, you will have to be a subscriber to my YouTube channel, and you will also have to comment on this video. Now, I know I am doing the other contest, crossing over with this. That contest ends on the 17th, and this will end on the week after the 17th. Let me check on that date. I can't believe I forgot the date. Okay, I'm just looking at the calendar real quick, and that will be the 24th. Alrighty. I'm so prepared. October 24th will be the last day you can enter for the AGA. Please, one entry per person. Only one comment that you will put in the bottom of this video will be entered into the contest. So gives everybody an even playing field. So the AGA, if you like it, if you'd like to enter, please subscribe and put a comment on this video. Now, I know this video is running crazy long, but I want to talk a little bit about VaporCon. I am leaving my house in a few hours. It is around 1 o'clock. I'm leaving tonight around 10. Heading down to Virginia, and I hope to see everybody down there, and I hope we all have a great time. Now, I know I am going to be doing my show on Elixir Saturday evening. It will not be live from VaporCon per se. It'll be live from my motel room. Cigar Babe will be with me. I don't know if we're going to have any special guests, but I'm not ruling that out. I don't know about giveaways. I'm not ruling that out. There may be some great, fantastic giveaways. There might be some fantastic guests yet to be seen. So tune in. Saturday night, 8 to 10 on Elixir TV. Junkie Rock. CB will be there, unless her plans change. But take care, everybody, and I will see everybody when I get back. I'll bring some pictures back from VaporCon, share them with everybody, and we'll talk about it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that Genesis Cobalt or that Sidewinder. So, everybody, keep vaping and make sure you enter. October 24th, 2012 will be the last day. 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the last time you can enter. So make sure you subscribe and you comment on the video. The AGA. One more vape and I'm out of here. Alrighty, folks. I got to finish packing. Alright. Take care. See everybody in Virginia.